Hey everybody, I'm Scott Wikle. You're listening to My Kind of Country on MKOCRadio.com. It's always a pleasure to talk to this gentleman tonight. I got to spend some time with him this spring, and he is truly one of the nicest people in the business, and you just can't help but have a smile on your face when you're around him because he's always got one on his face. He's a strong promoter for real country music. He's got a brand new album out called The Cowboy Way, and he just finished up a wonderful benefit for the St. Jude Hospital called Country with Heart. And it's just a pleasure to have you back on the show tonight, Bobby Marquez. Bobby, how are you?
I'm doing great, Scott. Thanks for having me, man. This is great.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. I had so much fun getting to spend some time with you down in Pigeon Forge this spring and over in Nashville at the Midnight Jamboree, and just fantastic times. And you and Jennifer are just such nice people, and I'm so glad to got a chance to know you.
Oh, I appreciate that. You know, it's you guys are fantastic people as well, and you know, we always try to surround ourselves with good people, and you're definitely that. So, you know, that's what I'm going to do for the rest of my career. I'm going to try to surround myself with good people.
Well, it's easy to do when you're good people yourself. There's no doubt about that. And hey, one of the nicest things I got to do this spring is I got to sing harmony with Bobby on Silver Wings. We got to sit and jam for a while.
That's right.
I'll never forget that. That was a fun night.
We had a good time. We had a really good time that night. That was awesome.
I miss doing stuff like that. New album just got released June the 15th. I'm very excited about this. Of course, The Cowboy Way, we've been playing it on the show a lot, and you've gotten just a lot of great action on this. And by the way, congratulations. You were the 2018 Western Artist Pure Country Male Vocalist of the Year, and you also won a Indie Artist of the Year award from CMA in Texas. Well-deserved awards, my friend.
Oh, thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. You know, it's weird how you work so hard, you know, in the industry and trying to get your music out there and everything, and I worked so hard over these past few years, and then all of a sudden it's like this year and last year it's just been amazing. You know, my music has gone to another level, and I couldn't be thankful more enough. You know, I mean, I'm so blessed, and you know, all I do is I just want to put good country music out there, and hopefully people like it, and just keep writing songs that are dear to my heart and that people can relate to, and that's what I just keep doing, you know, and hopefully my music will touch somebody, you know, and because that's what it's all about. It's about reaching that person's heart and soul, and that's what we try to do as an artist and a songwriter. You know, that's our purpose, you know, in the music business.
Amen to that. You know, and there's a lot of artists today have lost sight of that, and that's what country music is all about. It's people put to music, and you've got the proof. The proof is in the pudding for you. You know, with all the great songs you put out there, and you've got such a loyal fan base, and we get so many requests for your songs, and it just goes to show you that this is what country music's about, and this is what people want to hear.
Absolutely, you know, people want to hear real life stories, you know, and real life, you know, situations, because that's what we all go. We all have our problems, and we all have our fun and ups and downs, and you know, and sometimes we need that healing. You know, we need that healing, and music is the healer. You know,
Absolutely.
and that's our purpose as a singer songwriter, is to get that out there and try to help people and change people's lives. You know, with music, and that's what I try to do. I just try to write from the heart, and you know, and hopefully people like it. You know.
Well, that's what I love about real country music. I always tell people, you know, there's a soundtrack for my life, and it's all in different country songs, you know. And there's I can always find a song that kind of relates to what I'm going through at a particular time, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, you know. And that's I think a lot of people will say the same thing, and that's really what endears everybody to country music and kind of sets it apart from so many other things.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
And I certainly appreciate all that you and Jennifer do to keep the real country music going, and all the great things that you put together and the shows you do, including, of course, the Midnight Jamboree and the Country with Heart benefit at St. Jude. Man, that was incredible, and I understand you raised a real good amount of money.
Yeah, we raised a good amount of money. I believe it was like $4,300, I think, what we raised that night, and so yeah, we had a lot of fans come out and help support. We had an auction, and I just couldn't I couldn't have done it with some of these artists, you know, coming out and giving up their time, you know, because we don't pay them. They come out and they come out and give up their time for the kids, and that's what it's all about, you know. It's about the kids, you know, and raising money and try to do what we can to help them and the families. And I'm just so thankful that, man, I can't believe this year was already our 4th annual. I mean, it's been a crazy ride. I couldn't thank my sponsor, Workout Anytime 24/7. They've been around for these past 4 years, and it's been a great relationship and a big help from them to be able to keep this going. And we're going to keep it going as long as I can. You know, as long as the fans keep coming out, keep trying to raise as much money as we can.
Absolutely.
We're going to keep it going.
Absolutely. Well, you can't beat it. It was, great, a fantastic show, man. You had a lot of great people on there besides yourself. I know Jeannie Kendall was there, and just a ton of great people.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Well, Jeannie Kendall, boy, she can still sing, can't she? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God. She looks the same, and she sounds the same, and nice. And her and Carl are just the best people. And we, of course, got to spend time down with them at Pigeon Forge, too. And I know they hung around in Nashville. I know they did the Midnight Jamboree, and they were around for a little bit, so that's really cool.
You know, it's so funny because, you know, Jeannie, Kendall, and Sylvia, you know, they're so tiny, you know.
Yeah, I know.
They're singing, and they got these big voices just coming out. It's just amazing. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
You know.
I love Sylvia. She's such a sweetheart, and she is. She's real short, but God, she's still a beautiful lady and just powerhouse.
Yeah, she really
powerhouse
is.
Singer, man. God, she's good.
She's a great person.
Well, speaking of powerhouse singers, we have been getting a lot of action on this song. It's on your new album. It's a duet with Rhonda Vincent. Tell me a little bit about this.
You know, that was a song that I wrote. Gosh, it's almost about 10 years ago, Scott. I wrote that song, and
wow.
And it was something that I had the idea of a guy and a girl that maybe they were in a relationship, and they kind of thinking about the past of what might have been and what could have been, and it's kind of one of those songs where they're not wishing they would be back together, but they were just kind of thinking back to that time of how good it was, you know. And so when I had the lyrics, I had a few lyrics that I had, and I couldn't finish the song, and so I asked a female songwriter friend of mine. Her name was Memory Joe. She's the daughter of Jerry Cupid, the producer Jerry Cupid.
Oh yeah.
Who produced Ken Mellons and did some stuff on George Jones. Well, she's a great singer-songwriter, and we had gotten together, and I didn't even think the song was even going to be a duet. We just started writing it that way, and she said, you know, I think this ought to be a duet. And I said, no. I don't think so. I don't think that's the way we should go. And she twisted my arm, and then by the time we started finishing the song and writing it, I was like, wow, this is pretty good. And I had it there sitting for a while. Tim McGraw and Faith Hill had it for a while, and they had it on hold, which means that I can't pitch it to anybody else. I can't record it. They have it in hopes of them recording it, but they never did. So the song just kind of sat there. And when I was putting this album together, I said, I got to have something strong, you know, a good ballad song that I could just have a good duet with somebody. And, I kept thinking about everybody of who I could do it with, and I just said, I don't know if that would be a good thing. And I just kept thinking, and then Jennifer said, well, Rhonda Vincent, why don't you give her a call? And I told Jennifer, she's not going to record with me. There's just no way. She's not going to do it. And lo and behold, I called her, and she said, well, send me a copy of the demo. I'll listen to it, and if I like it, yeah, absolutely, I'll do it with you. And I was like, oh, my gosh, Rhonda Vincent just told me she would love to sing with me. And so I sent her the demo, and she calls me back, and she goes, oh, my gosh. She goes, this is a great song. And I was like, you think so? She's like, oh, gosh, this is great. She goes, when you go into the studio, and we set up the thing on the studio, well, what happened was she wasn't in the studio with me singing it because she had to be on the road. So what they had to do was our studio had to send all the tracks to her while she was on the road and go into another studio that they usually go into in Missouri, and she cut all the vocal tracks. And I was kind of worried about it because I was like, maybe we might not have that chemistry in the studio, because we're far away from each other. But she already had my rough vocals on those tracks, so she sang to my vocals and just nailed it. I mean, just absolutely nailed it. And it was kind of a stretch. This song's kind of a stretch for me vocally. I've never really, sang, I guess, sang this powerful. Everybody's always just kind of seen me, have heard me sing more of the honky tonk stuff where I'm not really, belting it out, And with this song, I had to actually sing. I had to really actually sing. and I was so nervous about it because I never really had pushed that hard to really sing that hard, and I was like, gosh, I got Rhonda Vincent singing, I better sing my butt off, And I thought the song was a little bit too high for me at first, I was like, God, the song's just going to be a little bit too high for me. I don't think this is going to work. And the producers and the engineers kept telling me, no, it sounds great, Bob, it sounds great. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. If I sound real high, too high, I don't feel like it's coming together. And they go, no, you just need to hear it back. And so I heard the song back, and I go, holy cow, that does sound good, And so I finished up the song, and they did their little magic in the studio and stuff, putting it together and everything. And boy, it came out fantastic. I tell you what, it just came out fantastic. I'm so excited about it. Man, we already have talks from the industry already about a Grammy nomination on this song.
I would not be surprised. It's like I said, we are getting all sorts of requests for it. It's going to be one of those career songs for you. You can just tell. It's going to be one of those songs. You know what I'm saying? You
can feel it. I mean, you can just actually feel it. When I was in the studio doing it, I could actually feel it. I could just feel it, that it just had that. It just had it, and there was no ways around it. And then with Rhonda singing it and coming in, she was just the perfect. I don't think anybody else could have done that song except for her.
No, I agree with you.
It just had that magic for her vocal, and when you hear her voice come up, it just goes, God, it gives you goosebumps all over, and you just go, wow.
Yeah, nothing against Tim and Faith, but man, I'll tell you, I can't imagine this being any better by anybody else. And Rhonda is such a great vocalist. She can do so much. She's got such versatility. She can do the bluegrass stuff, the country stuff, and duets. I mean, she did that album with Daryl Singletary before he passed away, and she did a great album with Gene Watson a couple years ago. And man, I'll tell you what, she is. You guys just. I hope you guys do more because you blend so well.
Well, I tell you, we've been getting a lot of feedback from a lot of people in radio stations and stuff. People loving it, our vocals together, and hopefully we can keep it going and do some more stuff together. And because I would love to, I would love to do some stuff live with her, if we could, And but man, this song it's a blessing, and I never would have dreamed that it would turn into something like this,
It was meant to be.
Well, I tell you, sometimes you get pushed in a different direction, and you have this thing in the back of your head like, no, it's not gonna work, and you keep telling yourself, no, it's not gonna work, no, but it keeps pushing itself, And it's like you said, it's meant to be. It keeps pushing itself, and it finds its own way in there. And all of a sudden, you just kind of look back and you go, "Wow!"
Oh, I'm so glad. That's great. Well, folks, it's BobbyMarquez.com. We'll have the information on our Facebook page, and you can get the new album, The Cowboy Way. It's available also at Ernest Tubb Record Shops, Amazon, and iTunes. And another great duet on here, and I know this guy's a big influence on you, and of course, so many. The great Johnny Rodriguez.
Yeah, I was so excited about this, and we've had this song recorded for a while. And I didn't want to re-sing the vocal because this was actually sung about 5 or 6 years ago that we both did this in the studio. But it sat there, and we never had the light of day to put it out, until I got this new album out. And I kept telling everybody, I need to go ahead and re-sing it because I sound a whole lot younger than I do now. And everybody says, no, you need to leave it alone. All the producers and engineers said, you need to leave it alone because this was... At the time that y'all did it together, this was a magical time that y'all did it. So keep it the same the way it was. And so I kept it the same. I didn't change anything on the vocals, even though I could have went in and re-sang it, but I didn't. I left it the way it was, and I hope people like it. And Johnny was just magic. He was. We went into the studio, Scott. We went into the studio that day. I'll never forget it. And he sang the song in one take.
Wow.
He went in there and sang the whole song, his whole vocal and everything, And the engineer, I looked at the engineer, and the engineer looked at me. He goes, "That's a take." I was just looking around, going, "Okay."
And then
Well,
you're
that's my turn, I guess.
yeah, no, crap, no, I got to do it.
I wasn't prepared yet to go start singing yet. He did it in one take, and he was like, "Okay, is that it? Is that all you need to do?"
Wow, that's a pro right there.
It only took 5 minutes.
Well, back, even in the days when Johnny was recording, some of these bigger hits, back then you didn't mess around, man. You had to get in the studio and get it done. You were under time constraint, money constraint, and we didn't have the technology we have today, so you had to have it right. So I can understand that.
Right. You got that. You got that right for sure. I mean, that's the magic of some of the legends in country music, and that's why they are legends in country music, because, like you said, they had to go in there. They were under time constraints. They didn't have all this tuning up stuff. They had to go in there and nail it. If they didn't nail it, they had to sing it again, keep singing it until they got it right.
Yep.
And man, I mean, you can't. I mean, that's just, it's unbelievable, But that's the kind of world that they lived under, and we're in a different thing where we got so much technology that if we hit a bad note, you can fix it with a computer. Go ahead and fix it,
Yep.
And them, no, they had to go back and re-sing it, And with me on this album, I was thinking, there was a few spots in there that when I was singing, I didn't like a few of the spots in there, and and they said, "Oh, we can auto-tune it." I said, "Absolutely not." I said, "I'm not going to auto-tune this thing." I said, "If I need to redo it again, we're going to redo it."
Good for you.
I'm not going to do auto-tune. So we went back in there and I re-sang a couple lines and got it right. I just was not going to do the auto-tune thing because I didn't want it to be unnatural. I wanted it to be natural and sound that way,
Absolutely.
And so hopefully everything came out good,
Well, there's a fine line of wanting to have things perfect, but there needs to be that human factor in there. There needs to be a little bit of vulnerability. There needs to be a little bit of imperfection, because that's really, it's the emotion in the music and everything, and it doesn't have to be technically perfect, Sometimes
That's right.
Sometimes it's even better that way. And then, and the other thing too is when you go out and do these songs live, you're going to sound like you do on the record, and that's hard to do if you auto-tune everything,
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And that's why, like I said, we got so much technology and I think that's happened a lot in country music today, is that there's so much technology that we can tune this, we can do that, we can do this or that. But then you go see some people live and you listen to them and you go, they don't sound anything like the record.
Yeah, right.
Yep. And sometimes some people even sound better than what they did on the record.
Yeah.
Sitting there going, "Wow, this is better live than they were on the record." And it's because of that, because we got so much stuff that we're messing with, and you got to have a little bit of imperfection in there to make it, human naturally,
Absolutely.
And if you don't have that, it's just, I don't think it sounds the same. It sounds like a machine.
I agree with you totally. Well, the Cowboy Way has it's another song that's I think it's going to be one that you're always going to be identified with, and it's a powerful song, and it's just hit everywhere, and I know you're mighty proud of this one too.
I am. I'm very, very proud of this song. It was a song that I wrote about my late father-in-law who passed away with pancreatic cancer, and it was one of those things where my wife Jennifer had come up to me. He was fixing to pass. He only had a few weeks left, and she said, "It surely would be nice if you wrote a song about my dad." And I said, "Gosh, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to." When you start thinking about things that are that personal, it's really hard to write. It's very, very hard to write a song when it hits you really, really personally. And those are the kind of songs that are very, very hard to write because you're afraid to write it because there's so much emotion. And it's just really, really hard to put down on paper. But Jennifer had, I said, "Well, give me some sayings or something that what he's known for and this and that." And she said, "Well, he's always been a cowboy. I mean, that's what he's always done. He's always been a true cowboy. He grew up as a bull rider, raising quarter horses with his ranch, but she told me that because he was always that type of man that always had integrity." And it was always like if he shook hands with somebody on a deal and you gave him his word, that was it. That was the word. It was almost like a contract, if you shook hands with him on a deal. And he always had those other sayings, "Hey, look, help a friend out. Don't lie, be true to your friends and everything." and he was always that kind of person. And so Jennifer got together with me, and she gave me some of these sayings, and I put them all together. And I was driving downtown Nashville one day, and all of a sudden I started humming this melody in my head, and I started writing the chorus right away. And I went back to Jennifer and told her. She's like, "Oh my goodness, that's it." And I said, "I don't know why it came out this way, but it did. But it came out as a cowboy song, and I'd never written a cowboy song in my entire life. But that's the way it came out, because I guess I was thinking about him being a cowboy, and then it just kind of came out that way, being a cowboy song. And it's just a song about integrity. It's about one of those things that we don't have in society right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that is missing right now. We don't have that respect anymore, the integrity, and it just talks about that, about the way the cowboys, had that integrity, in their culture, and I think we miss that today in today's world.
Yeah. Amen to that. No doubt about it. Well, the album is called The Cowboy Way. You can get it at BobbyMarquez.com. It's also available at Amazon and iTunes. And, of course, the Ernest Tubb Record Shop on Broadway in downtown Nashville. Our very dear friends down there. We get a lot of our music from Ernest Tubb, and we hope that you'll support them as well. Bobby, tell me about What's the Deal. I really like this song, too.
This was one of those songs that actually Jennifer, my wife, had the idea about this song. She's had it for quite a while, and she has been trying to pitch it to me to write it for a long time. And and I kept blowing her off. I was like, "No, I don't know. I don't know." Well, we needed a song to fit the album, and we needed something that was kind of a swingy, kind of honky-tonk song, kind of fun, upbeat. And gosh, really, to tell the truth, we wrote this song about 2 weeks before I recorded.
Oh, wow.
I came home one day, and she says, "We're going to write this song." And I'm like, "Okay." So I got my pen and my paper, and she had a bunch of lyrics and stuff that she was working on, just kind of throwing out there. And I said, "Well, let me think about it. Give me another day. Let me think about it." She goes, "No, let's write it now." And I said, "No, look, I got to think about it, because I got to have a melody." And so the next day, same thing again. I was driving around Nashville, and I had the intro, when it starts off with the intro, kind of swingy. I had that in my head, and I was like, "Oh, wow, this could be a cool thing." And so I went back to her the next day, and we ended up writing the whole song. We wrote it in about 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And it just all fell in together, and I'm like, "Wow, this is pretty cool."
It's
pretty cool.
It's amazing how many songwriters I talk to that will tell me, certain songs, they just come together so fast. And it's just got to be such a cool thing to hear that all come together and be like, boom, there it is,
It is, and it's just a fun song. There's nothing to it. It's just a fun song, and people can sing along and have fun with it. That's what that song is all about. It's just having fun with it, and and it's kind of my style, where I've got a little bit of the western swing in it with honky tonk, and it suits me really, really well, and I love. It's one of my favorite songs on the album.
Yeah,
I love that song.
Me too.
I can't wait to perform it live. Let's just put it that way.
Yep, it's the one that really gets me. I like that one. That's right in the pocket for me. I love that sound, and of course the song Honky Tonk. You can't get any more honky tonk than a song called Honky Tonk, right?
That's right. I wrote that song with the same person I wrote the Marlboro Man with.
Oh, okay.
Frame. He was a friend of mine and we wrote it about the same time that we wrote the Marlboro Man. That song has been sitting there for quite a while too. He recorded it and put it on his album, and it did really, really well for him. And I kept thinking, I was like, man, I want to record this song, because this song sounds like me, And so I was so thankful that we went in and did this song, and that's just a fun song too. It's just a good old honky tonk song, and it's one of those fun type songs to sing, and everybody can have fun to and relate to, and that's one of my favorite songs too on the album. I love that song. It's just a great song.
Well, it is a good, solid album, and I encourage my listeners to get the whole album, because it's a collection of songs that takes you on a musical journey, and we live in this day and age of downloading songs here and there, but I think we miss something when we don't take the time to listen to an entire album, and that's what you put together here, and I hope folks will do that.
I hope so. I hope people will like it. It's just one of those things that when I put this album together, I wanted to kind of have a variety of everything. I wanted to have a cowboy song. I wanted to have some honky tonk, some swing, a love song. I wanted to have like the song that me and Karen Staley wrote called "Speak Love." It's going to be it falls within the country Christian category, and that just talks about it talks about what the kids are going through nowadays. You know, with all the stuff going on, with all the shootings in the schools and everything, of you know how angry words can hurt people. You know, and that was a song we wrote with that, and hopefully that song will heal a lot of people when they hear it. You know.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of great music on this album. I'm really, really proud of it. It's just one of those things that, like I said, it's got a lot of variety on it. It's not just straight ahead country through the whole album. I mean, it is country. Don't get me wrong, but it has different feels and everything for everybody. And I'm really, really proud of that.
As well, you should be. It's a great album, and of course, you're going to be hearing all the songs on our station, and of course, we're going to play a bunch of them here after the interview tonight. And Bobby, just a couple more things. I got to mention Scott Southworth. I absolutely love this video. I Ain't Leaving Town. Scott was on the show a while back. He is just a hoot, man. He looks like you guys had a blast doing this thing.
Oh, I tell you, me and Scott, we've become good friends. I mean, after he had me, come in and do this song, me and him gotten really, really close as friends, and we talk to each other almost every day on the phone of what's going on with our careers and everything. And Scott's just a great guy, and boy, when he asked me to come in and do this song, I was kind of leery about it because I was like, well, I'm not bashing Nashville, but we're talking about some of the industry as well too. That hey, look, there's good country music out there. There's good country music here in Nashville, but we're not getting any help for people to find it. People got to go and look for it, but it's here.
Yeah, oh yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And it's one of those things to where, the song's just saying, hey, you can do whatever you want to. You can push us out of town. You can do whatever you try to want to, but we ain't going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going anywhere. We're going to stay here. We're going to continue putting out country music and songs that people want to hear, and we ain't leaving town.
Amen.
And that's what the whole song is about, and it's just one of those fun songs and
it is.
That people can relate to, and people are just going nuts over right now. He's having a huge hit over there in Europe right now with it. And,
yeah, I tell you, we get listeners from all over. That he just did a tour over there, man. I get emails all the time. Scott Southworth, from Germany, from France, Sweden. I mean, it's just amazing, and country music is huge over there, no doubt about it.
It is. Oh yeah, it definitely is. It really is, and like I said, I'm just having so much fun with this song and seeing the success it's having. It's been great. I just can't thank Scott enough for having me on the album and on the record. And like I said, I couldn't have come at a better time for both of us.
Absolutely. Well, you tell him I said hi. He's a good guy. I really enjoyed having him on the show.
I will. I sure will.
And, folks, if you tune in this Saturday night, June the 30th, to the Ernest Tubb Midnight Jamboree, there's going to be a very special host, and I believe his name is Bobby Marquez.
Yeah, and speaking of Scott Southworth, Scott's going to be my guest, and we're going to do I Ain't Leaving Town.
All right. Hey, that's cool.
Yeah, so that'll be a first at the Midnight Jamboree for both of us doing that song, and that's going to be a first for him. It's the first time he's ever going to be on the Jamboree, so
nice.
That's going to be a big night for Scott as well too. And he'll do a couple more songs of his own from his new album, and I tried to get Rhonda Vincent out there, but it didn't happen. She's on the road touring, so I've got a very, very good friend of mine, Dana Romanello, who's a fantastic bluegrass singer. She's been a friend of mine for years. And she's done a couple things where we've done this song live and does a fantastic job. And she's going to come out and sing the duet with me on this one.
Oh, great. Great.
It's going to be fantastic. We're excited about it.
Well, that's a free show, folks. If you're in Nashville, you can go to the Ernest Tubb Midnight Jamboree Theater there on Music Valley Drive. And the taping is at 10 o'clock. And, of course, it broadcasts at midnight on WSM Online. You can also see the video stream at MusicCityTelevision.com. And Bobby will be on that show. Of course, Jennifer Herron hosting. And we always support the Midnight Jamboree. Fabulous show. So looking forward to that. And Bobby, what else is coming up for you this summer?
Gosh, I've got another couple of St. Jude shows that I'm going to be doing. A show with Mark Chestnut that we're going to be doing a show with him. I've got some casino shows that we're going to be doing in Mississippi. Just a lot of things going on. We're trying to get this album out there and trying to get as much shows as we can to promote it and get the word out there about this album. So, like I said, I appreciate everybody, hanging in with me because I know it's been 5 years since I've come out with the album, but, I wanted to have quality and not quantity.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, you've done it, and your music will always have a home on my kind of country, no doubt about that. And we're going to keep right on playing it. Bobby, thanks so much for taking time to be on the show, and a big hello from our family up here, Merritt and Sarah, so to tell you hi, and Jennifer, and look forward to seeing you again soon.
Oh, thank you so much, Scott. I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you so much for having me on the show, and I appreciate everything you do for country music, and you're just a really good friend, and we appreciate you very, very much.
Well, likewise. I appreciate it. Stay in touch. We're going to play a bunch of songs from Bobby's brand new album. This is The Cowboy Way. It is available at BobbyMarquez.com, Amazon, iTunes, the Ernest Tubb Record Shop. You're going to love this. We're going to play the one with Johnny Rodriguez, the one with Rhonda Vincent, and The Cowboy Way. And we got to play I Ain't Leaving Town, too, for Scott Southworth. So listen to some of this great music, folks. Bobby, great talking to you, my friend. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, Scott.
You were here for a while, sharing your kiss and your smile. You could calm my heart with just one touch. That's one reason I love you so much. If I knew then what I know now, my pride would not keep me from the love we found. For a while, you were here for a while. It felt so real, but there's no one on earth who could love me, and there's no one who could adore me like you did. For a while,
you were here for a while, feeling your arms around me drove me wild.
getting lost in your eyes made me love you even more. It almost felt like we had opened heaven's door. Now I regret we let each other go. There's no one who could save my soul. For a while, you were here for a while. It felt so real, but there's no one on earth who could love me, and there's no one who could adore me like you did. For a while, we had everything, you and me, but we took it all for granted. If we could only get it back. For a while, you were here for a while. It felt so real, but there's no one on earth who could love me, and there's no one who could adore me like you did. For a while,
For a while, ooh,
This old highway seems so lonesome when you're going where you've been, and a lonesome song can make you cry time and time again. If I'd listened to a friend of mine 10 years ago today, I'd have a better job than what I got today.
But the billboards on the highways and the brake lights on the cars made me jump out on the highway with my bag and my guitar. If she comes or if she goes, it doesn't matter anymore, 'cause I'm riding my thumb to Mexico.
Riding my thumb to Mexico.
It don't matter when or how I go. I'll ride this thumb till I see her again. So I'm riding my thumb to Mexico. Well, the reason why she left me's not the reason that I'm here. I'm a traveling kind of man, just need a change of atmosphere.
If there's any place I haven't been at all, that's where I'll go. So I'm riding my thumb to Mexico.
Riding my thumb to Mexico.
It don't matter when or how I go. I'll ride this thumb till I see her again. So I'm riding my thumb to Mexico.